Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cos-Say to dear to dear. Today I'm here with Emily. Yeah, so we're just gonna get right into this. So what got you into cosplaying?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry. What got you into cosplaying?
You're good. How did I get into cosplaying?
Yeah.
So, it was kind of out of the blue. After I watched my first anime, which was Black Butler, um, like I was so in love with the characters, obviously, and the more research I did about Black Butler and the fandom, like obviously, these cosplayers would come up and like the feeling of like seeing, Sebastian, like my favorite character from the show, like come to life and like these people walking around in Sebastian, like I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to, give that same feeling to everybody else of when they see their favorite character at a convention. So, yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh my gosh, that was my sophomore year of high school, I think. Freshman or sophomore year, early high school. I was about 13 or 14 years old.
How old are you now? How long has it been?
I'm 21, so mental math.
About 6 or 7 years?
7 years ish. I kind of lost track.
That's pretty cool. So what was like your official first cosplay?
So my official first cosplay was actually Krona from Soul Eater. That was like the second anime I ever watched, and I absolutely fell in love with him. I was like, dude, I feel you. Like, so I fell in love with him. I went back and forth on a lot of Black Butler characters in Krona, but ultimately I picked Krona, and I'm really happy I did. I love Krona so much. He's such a great character, and I had a lot of fun in the costume.
That's awesome. Have you been to any conventions since, over that 6 or 7 years?
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't even tell you how many I've been to actually. I've been to a lot. A lot of in-state, a lot of out-state. I started going to out-state cons about 2 years ago, and it's been really, really fun. I absolutely love traveling in general. So convention traveling was like really, really fun, and I love it so much.
Do you remember any details about your first convention that you went to?
Oh my gosh, it was so crazy. I remember I had no idea what I was walking into. Like, I didn't have any friends that were like into anime or cosplay, so like I was walking in like completely blind. I had no idea what to expect. Um, and like I walked up and people recognized my character, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they recognize my cosplay. Like that feels so awesome. Um, and then once I got inside, I was just like mesmerized. I was like starstruck, like seeing all these other people, like recognizing characters from Black Butler, and I'm like, oh my god, this is actually really cool. And then I remember getting stopped for a photo and being like, wait, you want a photo like of me? I was like, I thought it was so weird. I was like, wait, don't you want to get like with? They're like, oh no, just your cosplay. And I was like, oh, that's a thing? Okay. Like I just kind of went with it. I was like, interesting. But it was overall so much fun, and oh my gosh, it was like the best first con experience ever.
What about your first con out of state? How was that experience? Because, traveling and staying at a hotel.
Right. So I kind of live like right in between Missouri and Illinois. So if we want to include Chicago as like traveling, I guess that counts. But my first big travel for a con was Con Delete, like 2018, I want to say. Yeah, it was my first con like away from home from St. Louis, and it was freezing. Like it was so cold. It was just so cold. Um, but it was so surreal. It was the biggest convention I had been to, like during that time. And I went with a lot of close friends at the time, and it was just so much fun, and I absolutely loved it, and I still love it.
That's awesome. So obviously you've been in cosplay for a while. It's been 6 or 7 years. What kind of not sorry. Let me
There you
just
go.
take that back. How many cosplays do you think you've done overall?
Oh my gosh. So I actually tried to make a list not too long ago, and I think I'm at about 60.
Oh wow.
About Yeah, about 60 cosplays. I mean, a lot of them I like don't do anymore, but like overall, I think around 60, which is so crazy to think about. Like, I don't even feel like I've done that many.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you like go back and you're like, oh wait, I did that and that and that, and I'm like, oh wait, it's really adding up. So quite a few.
Do you have a favorite cosplay that you've done?
Oh my gosh, that one is so hard. It's like asking a mother to pick between like her children. I mean, I absolutely love cosplaying Pito in particular from Hunter x Hunter. Um, I cannot stand long wigs. Like they just like right now, like I can't stand it. So I love being in her when like my hair is nice and short and I'm in shorts, and the top is really comfy and I can just be really like chill. I love chill cosplays, and I love my Frobby cosplay. Don't get me wrong, but it's just so heavy and it takes a toll on my feet and everything. But I think I'm gonna have to say Pito because of how comfortable it is.
Do you think that there's a cosplay that's your least favorite?
Oh gosh, I know for a while, my least favorite was Leorio from Hunter x Hunter, and it's probably because he's like this big, masculine, like muscular guy, and I'm like this tiny girl, like trying to like look like Leorio. So I was frustrated with it for a long time, but I don't hate it now. I just kind of like, and like I'll only cosplay it if I have to, as much as I love him. But I don't know, guys like that are just really hard to like recreate.
Yeah.
For me personally.
That makes sense. One of your followers did ask, has there ever been a cosplay that you were so excited to get into and then disliked and questioned it?
Oh my gosh, yes. So many times. Um, I believe it's Magical Mirai 2019 Miku. It's like this big, extravagant, giant wig, prop, everything kind of costume. And I actually did a collab with EZ Cosplay. So they were like, oh, like you can pick a costume, we'll send it to you, and you shooting it, we use it for advertisements kind of thing. So I was like, oh my gosh, totally gonna get the Magical Mirai. Like it was the newest Miku at the time, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And when it came in, oh my god, it was so cool. Like parts of it lit up, and the prop was so nice. They even sent me like the shoes for it and like everything, and I was like, I am so excited for this. It's such a beautiful costume. And then I put it on, and I'm like, something right. This doesn't look right. Like, I don't really feel it. Like, And I brought it to Katsucon last year, hoping that I would like it. I stayed in her for literally 20 minutes and then changed. I was like, something about this costume is just not clicking. And that's okay. You're going to have costumes that, don't particularly work or you don't really like. And, I've changed some things about it, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem to look very good on me, in my opinion. But
On the same note, is there a cosplay that you have loved so much that you've been the most proud of or has been like the most expensive one that you've ever worked on?
yes, that's kind of like a between a Froppy and Racing Miku 2017. Racing Miku was a dream cosplay for like 3 years. It's my favorite version of her racing, and the wings are like so big and extravagant. I was like, oh, it's so cool to bring to a con like Katsucon or ASEN, a bigger convention. It was definitely my most expensive cosplay. I think it was like around like 350. It was not cheap, but like I saved all of my money like that summer so that I could get it. And I actually really, really liked the way it came out. And I have yet to wear it. It's been like 2 years. I'm like, haven't found a time to wear it because, the wings are so big. But I think that one's definitely my most expensive cosplay. And then one I'm really, really proud of is probably Froppy. She wasn't as expensive, but she's definitely developed a lot. I've changed, the wig constantly, and I've changed out my makeup a couple of times. And I don't know, I just really, really like being in her, and I just love it. So yeah, and I'm proud of my bow. I know like it looks really rough right now, but I worked so hard on it. So
That's awesome. Over the 6 or 7 years and going through 60 cosplays, is there possible like highlights or really, really good memories that you have, whether it's working on a cosplay or at a convention or just friends?
oh yeah, I mean, for me, cosplay is like literally about all the people that I'm with. I tell this to so many people. Like I've been to a tiny little con in Indianapolis one year. It was super duper small. And then the next weekend I went to Katsucon, and I was like, I had more fun at that teeny tiny, Indianapolis con than I did at Katsucon because of the people that I was with. And I'm like, it doesn't matter how big or small the convention is or like what you're wearing. Like it's definitely, my friends and the people that I go to the convention with that make it so much fun for me.
That's awesome. So what's your inspiration and your motivation to keep cosplaying as it goes on?
I think it's just like my, love for the craft itself. I've always like loved dressing up. I would constantly dress up when I was a child. You could not catch me not in a princess dress. Like I've always loved, creating and dressing up as someone that you're not. I don't know. I just thought that was super cool. I always have. Um, I don't really know like what my main drive is. I think it's just like my love for the whole craft.
That's awesome. What do you think is the most rewarding aspect of it?
Oh my gosh, definitely again the people I meet. Like I have met so many incredible people because of cosplay. It's unreal. Like I've definitely met, forever friends. Um, and that's the biggest thing that I've gained. And I think that's the biggest thing I'm going to gain. Like
Um, Sorry, I like totally lost my question, so I like
no, you're good.
so the cosplay community, is there something that like is your favorite part about it? I know that you said that the people, but like is there like a specific quality in the cosplayers that you choose to be friends with, or just something that overall attracts you back to the community?
Right. The kind of people that I sort of gravitate towards are just like really, chill, like open-minded people that, are your real life friends, and they see you as a human being rather than just like a cosplayer online. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that's really important that we continue to see each other as, human beings and not, like this sort of idolized Instagram famous, kind of person, because we're all people and we're all just here to like have a good time and dress in wigs and go to a nerd convention. Like that's all we're here to do. So I mean, chill people, my kind of people. I vibe with them.
On the opposite side, do you think that there's something in the cosplay community that can be fixed, or that isn't something that's something you try to avoid more?
Right. I mean, I've personally noticed, like the cosplay community has definitely become a place of a lot of tension and a lot of being competitive with one another, which, that's going to happen in any craft. But specifically in cosplay, I've seen it definitely progress through the years. And I don't really know how to describe it. It's very political now, it's a very one set mind kind of thing. Everyone kind of has to have the same, ideas and morals, or, you're not really like, I don't know how to say it. Like you're accepted into the community, just not seen as like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah. It's definitely not perfect, let me tell you. I definitely get frustrated a lot, but again, I'm here for the craft. I'm not here for the drama. So
That's definitely a really good stance.
mm-hmm.
As somebody who has a platform, and you just reached 25,000, congratulations.
Thank
Um,
you.
what do you think is what do you think is most how do I word this? I know how to word this. It's just I lost my mind
I feel that
dictionary.
you're like, I feel it, but I don't know how to put it into words, kind of thing. I totally get that.
What do you think is the benefit of having such a large platform for you?
I think a benefit for it is, for me to show more people, my love for cosplay and my love for wigs and makeup. You know, um, of course, it feels good to have a lot of people, admire your costumes and admire your hard work. Like that's always incredible. But it definitely comes with a lot of downsides. Um, you have a lot of eyes on you all the time, and that's crazy. It's like, you wake up one day and you have 25,000 followers and you're like, I can't, post the memes that I want to because, it might offend somebody, or, like you have to definitely act very, neutral on everything. Which was definitely hard for me to transition to because like I'm very bubbly and like outgoing and like, I just like stay on my mind, and I'm a big jokester and I love to goof off all the time. Um, but I've definitely, transitioned like, okay, you have a platform, there's people watching you, you kind of have to, some people put you on like a higher pedestal. So you kind of have to adjust to that and be a role model almost.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely doing a really good job of being a role model.
Oh, thank you.
You're still maintaining the sweet and bubbly personality, which is really, really cool because it's nice
Thank
to see
you.
you like that. So, for anybody who doesn't know Emily, you can obviously tell she's really, really sweet and kind, and she's been such
I'm
a
like blushing.
she's been such a joy to have on already. Um, that's really all of the questions that I have personally. But
Mhm.
is there anything that you would like to share? Whether it's just something that's on your mind about the cosplay community, or something from your experience, or any advice that you may have for your fans and followers?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me that I would say to anybody that is, looking for advice or just, wants to hear it, cosplay is a way for us to express ourselves, and it's a way for us to connect with our favorite characters and our favorite series, and to go to conventions and meet, other people that have that same passion as you. And that's literally what it's all about. It's, and I know, like I said before, things can get so political, and they do get political. And there's a lot of fighting online, and there's a lot of like harassment and just like going after one another. And I see it constantly, and it makes me sad because we're all kind of straining away from what we're all here to do, which is to cosplay and to have a good time and support one another. So just be kind and be humble.
Thank you so much. That was really, really sweet of you to say.
Oh, thanks.
Well, guys, that's all I have for this week's episode. I will see you next week with another episode. Bye.
Bye.